What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hill Homestead. So while today is not an exciting video in the fact of us having piglets yet, that's a side story, but we did add to our pig population here on the homestead, and we were able to go pick up 2 new sows yesterday, and it did not come without complications, and here's the story behind that. All right, guys, so we are actually headed to pick up 2 new sows for the farm today, and they are what you call blue sows. They have like a gray color to them, comparable to like a blue pit bull, but they are 4-year-old sows. We're looking to get some more information as soon as we get there, take a good look at them, but this trip has not come without its complications. I don't know if you guys can tell, but we are not in my pickup truck, and that is because we had the trailer hooked up and we were starting down I-81 and got about, I don't know, half a mile, and the temperature of my coolant shot up, and we do believe that my water pump went out in my truck. So we were pulled over on the side of 81, limped it up to the next exit, and Desiree's uncle came out and was able to pick us up and haul the truck back on his flatbed trailer, and was kind enough to let us use one of his pickup trucks there that they had at the shop. And we did a little switching around with the trailer, hooked it up, and we were headed to Romney, West Virginia, about 3 hours behind schedule to pick up these sows, and we'll see what we can do with them when we get back to the house tonight. But we'll keep you guys up to date, and I can't wait for you guys to see these girls. So we got in last night about 7 o'clock, and it was completely dark. So what we did with the sows is we went ahead and put plenty of bedding in the trailer and gave them some water inside the trailer as well as some feed, and they slept there for the night, and we were able to come down and get started today on a pen for these girls. So this pen was basically designed like we did Betty's farrowing pen. We just made it twice as big because there are 2 different sows in there. And this is just a retaining pen. We're gonna get them in as soon as we get these butcher hogs out and get them trained to this electric. And the reason we wanna get them trained to electric is because they've never seen it before. And we wouldn't want to put them with our boar and them run right through and us have to chase them all around the property.
Okay, so these 2 hogs came from Tanner and Paige McNeely, and they're from TPM Genetics, a show hog breeder out of Shanks, West Virginia, which is in Hampshire County. We absolutely love going there to their place, seeing their operation. They have a wealth of knowledge, not only in show pigs, but also cattle, goats, other animals as well. So they're great people to get to know if you're entering into the show world and homesteading world. So about this day last year, we bought Dino, Betty, and what was Pebbles from them. So it was kind of a full circle moment for us almost a year later, getting 2 new sows from them. What's even sweeter is that possibly one of these sows is the mom to Pebbles, the gilt that we lost this summer due to labor complications. So that was a really bittersweet moment to find that out. These 2 sows will be 4 in July, so they're a little bit older but not considered old, especially for us, for our operation that we're doing. And like I said, Tanner and Paige are full of knowledge. They keep such good records. They know everything about every sow and every hog they have on their farm. So if you're in this area and looking for hogs, I would definitely recommend them.
Yep, and on Facebook they are there. I do believe they have a Facebook page at TPM Genetics. So like Des said, very reputable operation they have there, very clean and well thought out, and obviously we're a returning customer, so we really enjoy hanging out with them, and it's never just a stop, pick up, and leave. We do hang out, and you know, they give us the backstory and talk about their hogs. They have names just like ours do, so they are cared for. They are not just, you know, popping out piglets and getting rid of everybody, and they definitely care for their animals, and it shows. Like I said, the pen is exactly like Betty's. We went by anchoring them to the wall, the pieces of wood, using hog panels. It is 8 feet from the wall out and 16 feet long. We did put a gate in the middle. That way in time, if we want to, we can put a divider panel in between and use the gate for 2 separate pins, any entrance and exit for either one of those pins. So we started by doing that, drove some T-posts in the very difficult shale ground, tied the panels in. I did not run railroad ties on the bottom. They have been in panel fencing their entire lives, so I'm pretty confident that they're not going to root it up too bad, and I'm also confident in how hard the ground is that they won't try to escape that way by going under it either. For their waterer, we did have a extra water jug sitting around, so I went out and I bought a drill bit that is large enough for the nipple waterers. I might actually have one here in my pocket. Yep, here's what the nipple waterer looks like. It's got a filter on the back here so no junk gets inside, and they just bite down on this and water will come out. But I shot the drill bit in with water and just started turning it to tighten it up to the barrel, and it is holding. There's no leaks, and these girls are already trained to the nipple water anyway, and pigs are extremely smart, so they would have figured it out in no time anyways. But we got that set up and put in their pen for them to drink out of as soon as they're ready. So after the pen was completely set up and ready for them, we went ahead and kind of made a chute out of some tin, metal, whatever you want to call it, laying around. And just so they didn't try to deter from the path, it was fairly straight shot, but they walked right in. There wasn't a whole lot of curiosity. They never saw Betty in the other pen, so they walked right by her and right into their pen and started eating immediately. Or you don't need it. All right.
Okay, so here's the first one. This is Olive. We're gonna call her Ollie. That was Tanner and Paige's name before was Olive, so we're just gonna keep with it and call her Ollie for short. She's a blue sow, and she's a little shorter and a little rounder. So O and round, Olive, that's how we're gonna remember them. This one here is Louise. She's a little longer than Ollie. She's also a blue sow, and she's got a cute little white patch right here between her shoulder blades.
Something you might notice about these two hogs is, even though they're almost 4-year-old hogs, they're not huge hogs. Like Betty is a lot bigger than, well, not a lot bigger, but she's bigger than both of those girls. But Tanner talked about how they like to keep their hogs, what he called athletic. They're not overweight, they're not extremely obese, they are long, and they are good, but they're good mothers. And he said that it makes it a little bit more difficult to, for breeding purposes and the birthing process for them when they're extremely overweight. And you know, if you look at Dino especially, you can't really tell Betty as much right now with her being pregnant, but if you look at Dino, he is also very long and slim for a boar and athletic. We keep him in that big pasture down there. He comes up and down that hill to eat, so it keeps him fairly thin and not extremely obese, which means for these sows he won't hurt them when we put them with him.
Okay, so another thing that we learned while we were at Tanner and Paige's was they have this amazing ring, and like Tanner said, it's like the kryptonite of pigs. Once you flip this over the pigs, you can just walk with the ring and they just walk completely on their own. Like, we were completely mind blown. And it seems like there are multiple people who have been completely mind blown by this. So we actually had an extra panel from making the hog pens, so we just went ahead and circled that around. These girls, they unloaded the trailer very easily, but if there would have been any issue, would have just slipped this over top of them and just walked with them and pushed them into the pen. Another thing that you can use this little ring with is whenever you go to train your show pigs, you actually can, when they're little, because you have to start them out when they're young with the whips, you can put them in this little tiny circle and go ahead and get them started training them with the whips, so they get used to it, and then and walking with them that way, and then as they get used to it, then you can lift the ring off, and then you'll be able to walk them with just the whips.
But I think that's going to do it for today's video. Like I say, we're extremely excited about these girls. We are excited to expand, have a lot more piglets here. We have 3 gilts that should be bred. We have a sow that's about to lay down and have piglets, hopefully by next week. And now we have 2 other sows here on the property that we plan to breed as well. So a total of 6 girls that can be bred and produce piglets for us in the following months. But we do believe that we got Betty's date wrong. And if that is the case, pigs come into heat every 18 days. So we would be 18 days off, roughly, which would put her having piglets probably next weekend, being Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. With us not knowing the exact breeding date because we do not artificially inseminate, we do not know the exact day that she was bred, so we will not know a rough period of when she will have piglets other than making an educated guess. And that is our educated guess because she has not had piglets yet. But we look forward to that, and again, I'm not lying to you guys, I'm really hoping in the next couple of videos we will have piglets on the ground for you guys to see. But we're excited again to see what these girls can produce for us and you know, expand our pig operation to a larger scale. We hope to have more pig pens here in the barn in the following months and really solidify the things that we've got going here. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. It has been an interesting weekend to say the least, and we look forward to the following week. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, tell a friend about us, come hang out with us, and we appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.